talk to me. If you feel the need and when you need the feeling, talk to me. If you feel the need and when you need the feeling, talk to me.
Hello everyone, I'm Timothy Goh. Thanks for tuning in on another edition of That's IT. You all know by now that I love my technology, and lucky for me, I work with it every day and it's everywhere around me. Possible now because things are actually getting smaller, and extremely small. You might have a hard time looking for it inside your own pocket. Well, this week, we'll be talking about living in a world of mini technology. So let's find out why the next big thing always seems to be small.
In a world where technological innovation is moving forward at a breakneck pace, it seems that only one thing remains constant. Gadgets keep getting smaller. The one gadget that hasn't stopped shrinking since its invention is the portable computer, or the laptop. According to About.com, this was how the first ever portable laptop used to look like. Released in 1981, it weighed 24 pounds, certainly not the book-sized foldable notebooks we are used to now. Well, from that in 1981 to this in 2009. This Vio P is the latest and one of the smallest mini notebooks to hit the market. Weighing only 600 grams, this tiny 8-inch computer was engineered for maximum mobility.
These days, we are living in an increasingly mobile world, so it's needed for gadgets to become smaller and thinner to actually stay relevant to consumers' needs of gadgets that they can carry around with them all the time so they can work anywhere or stay connected. So when the Vio P was being designed, it is indicated that it has to be a gadget that can be held with just one hand, so consumers can easily grab and go.
This tiny notebook boasts several features that give it an edge over its larger counterparts. Its instant mode, for one, allows users to access an internet page without switching on the notebook, simply with the press of a button.
So much thought has been put into the development of Vio P in terms of heat management that in fact no fan is required in this design. So the Vio P is a totally quiet machine to work on. It also comes with HD video decoder that allows the playback of AVC HD high-definition contents smoothly for entertainment on the go.
Sony calls it a pocketbook because it's so small and light that you can even carry it in your pocket. Just don't forget that it's there. Another brand that has made waves with its petite notebook is Apple with its MacBook Air. Though not the smallest in the market, its edge, if you haven't already heard, is that it's the thinnest notebook in the world.
The thickest point is just 1.94 centimeters. So it's the thinnest, the world thinnest.
So thin that it fits perfectly into a regular business envelope. And like other MacBooks, Apple has also included its well-loved hardware features into the stylish body, the multi-touch trackpad.
It's a favorite for the female users as well because it's slim and stylish. They can slip into their handbags and carry with them everywhere they go. If you need a notebook that is mainly or most of the time on the desk, we would recommend with other categories like the MacBook Pro 15-inch or 17-inch where you can have a bigger screen. It's all different needs of the consumer.
The thing is this, we expected gadgets like notebooks to get smaller and smaller, but these next products have taken us and the market by surprise. Also in the race are two leading camera manufacturers who have also each come up with their own brand of the world's smallest prosumer digital SLR cameras. First up is a palm-sized Olympus E420, which hopes to tap into the growing market of existing digital camera users.
The camera will appeal to people that are using compact cameras currently and they wanted to upgrade to a DSLR. But what refrained them from doing so is because of the size. So they prefer something small and compact. And even to female photographers, with smaller hands, it's easier for them to use.
We like the E420's live view instant focusing ability. Perfect if you need quick shifting focus from one point to another. Another element is that this camera allows users to select from 18 preset scenes, each with a unique shutter speed, aperture, and ISO setting, which makes shooting easier, especially if you're a novice. The other compact DSLR is the Panasonic Lumix G. Interestingly, the small size of this camera is made possible due to the small Micro Four Thirds sensor system in its core, replacing the larger reflex mirror that exists in all SLRs. Some purists say that this very system renders the Lumix G as a non-SLR, but we leave that to you to decide. What's big about the Lumix is that it's the world's smallest camera with interchangeable lenses. Pretty cool for those who take their photography seriously. Notebooks and cameras aren't the only thing shedding weight. If you're part of the mobile workforce, Greta from Sweden may just interest you and your boss too. This bright red baby is the world's first and smallest GSM 5-in-1 mobile fax machine. Just like a mobile phone, all it needs is a SIM card to make and receive calls, print SMSs and fax. It also connects to your notebook so you can print, scan, and copy documents on the go.
While we want to keep our gadgets as small and light as they can be, are there big compromises to be made to keep our tech toys tiny? But before we find out, let's have a look at what I found out at the recent Mobile World Congress in Barcelona on News Bites.
With the global economic slowdown knocking on its doors, the world's wireless communications players converge in Barcelona for the annual Mobile World Congress. This year's news, the industry will contract up to 9% in 2009, yet major mobile makers remain unfazed.
Even in the economic downturn, I think desire for new innovative products of consumer won't be decreasing. I think demands and desire are still there. I think as long as we can deliver the very innovative products who can wake consumers' curiosity and create their demand, I think there are still the market.
And with that, Samsung unveiled its arsenal of new handsets to fight the global recession. The Ultra series is back with a vengeance with the Ultra Touch, the slimmest slider touchscreen phone in the market, with a vivid AMOLED scratch-proof screen. But the star of the show would have to be this, the world's first solar-powered full-touch mobile phone, the Blue Earth. And just in case you need to know, the Blue Earth is made with recyclable plastic and it is truly Earth-friendly.
Kia ora from the North Island of New Zealand. I'm Timothy Go, and on this episode of That's IT, I have the wrong show. After drinking a bottle of soda, I've never done that in my entire life. Can we say Kia ora from Kankuri? Sorry.
It's not. We had a lot of laughs from the wettest, the hottest, and the most dizzying Kiwi destination. For all that's surprising about New Zealand, join us for one last time on
This series is proudly presented by Tourism New Zealand and Singapore Airlines. Singapore Airlines offers you more than 18 flights a week to Auckland and Christchurch.
May I have your attention, please? We're searching for 3 housewives who have gone missing. Housewife number 1, a plump, typical heartland auntie. Housewife number 2, a voluptuous tie-tie wannabe.
这是避难，已经算很小的了。
And housewife number 3, a petite mom who's always a worrywart.
妈今天跟我开口，要你帮忙负担一点家用。
For more information, please tune into Channel 8, starting from 4th March, weeknights 9 p.m. for Housewives Holiday.
The feeling, talk to me.
Welcome back to That's IT. I don't know if you've realized it by now, but every time a new tech toy hits the market, the first question, at least for some of us, is how small is it? Well, it seems to me a gadget's form always wins the hearts and sometimes the minds of consumers like you and me. But when it comes to function, do brands have to make compromises for the sake of size? And do all good things come in small packages?
Take, for example, the latest breed of mini notebooks, also known as mini notes. Manufacturers agree that some adjustments have to be made to help you travel light. Most are stripped of all extraneous features. The MacBook Air, for example, doesn't come with optical drives.
Most of the consumer peripherals today are USB interface. So MacBook Air comes with one USB port. If you need additional USB port, you can always add a USB hub.
For gadgets requiring add-on peripherals, it's another compromise that has to be made because as things get smaller, you can't build in as many things. Usability-wise, there are compromises made. For example, there's no palm rest. So your palm rests on the table when you're typing, which can be uncomfortable for some people.
And when handheld gadgets such as cameras go mini, there are two main differences that users need to be aware of.
Firstly will be on the grip size. Secondly will be on the battery. Okay, firstly, to elaborate more on the grip size, okay, normal regular SLR, we have to grip it this way. Okay, so we're going to sacrifice the grip. Okay, we're going to make it smaller by applying a side grip. Okay, on the E420. If you are used to a compact cameras, you're applying the same type of grips, okay, to this SLR. Secondly will be the battery. Okay, on a regular SLR, the battery life can easily last you up to about 700 shots. Okay, but on the E420, okay, the battery life is about 400 pictures. Okay, but not a lot of people can actually capture up to 400 pictures a day. We try to actually compromise, okay, by actually taking away some of the least important features on the camera that does not affect on the image quality at all.
That's really the punchline for all of these tiny gadgets. They are suited for people who need to travel light, but they have yet to solve the problem of how to provide certain things that haven't quite gone out of style.
So there's always a transition period where things are small but not so useful, but eventually they may be at that size and be useful at the same time once the innovation kicks in. For me personally, I'm not willing to compromise on quality, so I would carry around a larger camera if I have to, just to get a better image. I would definitely carry a larger notebook if it means that I can type faster on it.
As it seems, not all of us are keen to hop on the mini bandwagon, and for good reason too.
You may have noticed that there's a cultural difference when it comes to the size of products. A lot of really small products come out of Japan, where a lot of people commute. They take the train, they walk to places, so they need products that are smaller, that are lighter, so that it's more comfortable for them to carry around. Whereas in larger countries, maybe even in the US, they don't mind having a large notebook, a 15-inch one, because they just throw it in the car and they just drive to wherever they are going and then use it when they're there. They don't really have to lug it around.
When we return, I'll have a review of the smallest HD camcorders out in the market. Plus, if you're thinking of buying, I'll let you in on how to make the right pick. And speaking of picks, let's get to know this week's IT bigwig who gives his CEO's pick.
Nobody probably knows home entertainment better than Michael Ostergaard, head of luxury audio-visual technology brand Bang & Olufsen in Singapore. So we asked, he answered. His pick? The BO5, the smallest, smartest, and only remote control in his home.
I think I actually just moved into a new home. I just got all settled in with my wife and my small dog, which is what we have at home. And actually, I would say my favorite gadget is actually my new remote control, which I integrate in my house. And it's a combination of a touchscreen, but also buttons from Bang & Olufsen. So when I come home, I kind of like to just be myself and hang out on the sofa with my family. And there it's nice that I don't need to get up and I can control the lights everywhere in my house. I can control my air condition. So I just hang back and watch some Danish TV or some, just in general, just a good movie on. And there I really enjoy this, that I don't need to get up and walk around and turn it on and off. What this actually does is it integrates everything in one button and in one control. So what I can do is I can sit at my sofa and hit one button, and then automatically it will turn on my air condition, it will turn my blinds down, It will turn on my TV, turn on my DVD player, and then slowly bring down the lights to the level I want from my system. So actually, from going from 2 or 3 remotes and needing to get up, it sounds lazy, but it's just making it more simple. So I can just have this whole control of my house on one remote instead.
Well, who wouldn't want to have a remote control that turns an ordinary living room into a home theater with the press of a button? The Smart BO5 has also won over another important fan, his wife.
I actually used this current remote, and then I was off back in Denmark for a company trip, and my wife all of a sudden called me from the bedroom saying, well, I can't do this, and then when I hit the movie, it doesn't do anything. And then, of course, it was because that she was so much used to using this, and everything would happen at just pressing one button. So it kind of became a problem. So now we have one in the bedroom as well as one in the living room, and it just makes it easier for her. So when I kind of go off for various trips, the house is not completely out of order.
And this may come as a surprise to some of you, but this CEO confesses that this remote control is his first touchscreen product. So why did he decide to go touch?
Even though we're gadgets and I'm into that, we all know that in our home, it's also our wives that decide many things. So it's kind of nice to have her saying, well, this is a cool thing, I would like to have this as well. I've been a little bit afraid of going only touchscreen before. So actually with this, I have the combination of a hard button and touchscreen. I can feel a press where you can't feel on a touchscreen. So I would say naturally I use a combination of it, but that's the only reason why I would choose this one and go touchscreen this time, is because it's a combination of both. So yeah.
A place where some things are made to be discovered, and where some things are made to be hidden. A treasure trove of design delights at every turn, and spectacular views of nature to be unearthed. The possibilities of Phuket on Paradise Asia, Saturday 9:30 p.m. on Channel News Asia.
Paradise Asia is brought to you by Nikon.
Stop. Go. Stop. Go. Stop. Go. Stop. Go. Stop. 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 Go. Stop. Go. Go. Stop.
Submit to the dictates of fashion.
Go. Go. Stop. Go.
Out now.
Go.
Style Magazine. In the March issue of Style Magazine, Go! Zoe Tay gets unleashed. Stop. Check out our spring-summer looks. Go! Tribal this season. Style Magazine. Out now.
When you need the feeling, talk to me.
It's the battle royale of handy cams this week here on Gadget Wars. I've got 4 right in front of me, all HD. 3 are full HD, 1 isn't. If you can guess which one it is, you're really smart. Okay, let's start with the one on the right side, the Sanyo ZACD camera. I like the way it feels. If you're going to shoot, literally, this feels like a gun, you know, you just point and shoot. It's not touchscreen, but it's easy to use, relatively easy, with all the buttons you need right here on your fingertips. Compact, but still quite a bit chunky for what's considered a compact camera. The lens part of this one is quite big, actually. If you put it, it won't probably won't fit in most pockets. But apart from that, I really like how it feels, you know, like shooting a gun. One of my favorites would be the Sony one. It's latest technology all rolled into this little, small, full HD camera. Sony says this is the smallest full HD camera in the market at the moment. It is like all the other Sony Cybercams, Cybershot cameras. It is touchscreen, so if you're into that, it's good. But if you've got kids or fingernails and things like that, it might not be the ideal HD camera for you to use. But otherwise, it also feels good to the touch. It's quite compact. You can put it in your pocket, if you've got big pockets, that is.
The thing is that you'd need to have pretty deep pockets to afford the Sony camera. It's the most expensive camcorder among the four.
It has, what I like about it is the face detection. I'll show you right there. See, you can actually see the face detection. Very popular with other Sony CyberShot cameras at the moment. If you're looking for something nice, big, and steady, the Panasonic right here is the steadiest I found out of the four HD cameras we have this week. It is big for a camera these days, for a handy cam, but it is full HD. It has a manual lens function as well, which if you're a professional camera person, it might come in handy for you. Feels good to the touch, very stable. You can jump, run, and roll all over, and you'll still have really stable camera shots. It is full HD as well. Not touchscreen, but it is a good camera. Now, the smallest of them all is this one from Creative. It is quite small. It is a camcorder. Fits right into your pocket, and for an HD camera, it is not full HD, but for an HD camera, the image is not that bad at all, but it is good enough, and it does have all the functions you need for a compact camcorder.
That said, take note that the Vado is the cheapest out of the four HD camcorders, actually almost 5 times cheaper than the Sony.
All right. Well, it is quite hard to choose a favorite this week, as usual. It depends on what you want your camera for. If you want to look good shooting, I'd go for the Sanyo. If you want good quality, it's either the Sony or the Panasonic. This one, of course, is the latest in the market, and it's quite sleek, so I'd go for that if that's what you want. If you want to fiddle around with your shots, go for the one with a manual focus with the Panasonic. But if you want something quick and easy, fits into your pocket just like your mobile phone, I'd go for the Creative. It's tiny. And that is Gadget War for this week.
Even after all this talk and size, we know that for some of you technophiles, even pocket size isn't small enough. So here's the smallest of the small that we found. First up is the iPod Shuffle, still reigning supreme as the smallest MP3 player we could get our hands on. Don't be deceived by its size. The simple player can fit up to this much music, 500 songs at one time. The only fallback, it is so small, it can't fit a screen for easier navigation. Still, in the miniature audio equipment department is our favorite item of the week, Sony's incredibly tiny speakers the size of a strawberry. Although tiny, they pack a punch, delivering Dolby digital cinema quality audio, perfect for your HD home theater system. The only hitch is these speakers are not sold separately.
We searched the World Wide Web to bring you the smallest innovations, and as we all know, the Japanese are very good at it. Look what we found.
You'd think this was a dollhouse playset, but look again, this fully functional TV is half the height of a cigarette pack and is great for playing video games, if you're an ant, that is. And even tinier is the world's smallest wearable TV, although it does make you look like RoboCop. Measuring just 2 centimeters across, this allows you to watch videos with one eye and look around with the other. Very weird.
And just when we thought we found the smallest TV screen there is, take a look at this. TV inside your eyes, contact lens TV. It'll be available a decade from now.
What's more bizarre is that the makers of this invention wants us to be able to watch TV while we sleep.
But I've always thought your eyes actually roll back when you're sleeping. And now we come to the all-important question. Does size really matter? Well, at the end of the day, it's really all about what you want out of the technology you have. I've always been a brains and brawns kind of guy, but when it comes to IT, I choose function over size. That's all we have time for this week. I'm Timothy Go. That's it.
Luxurious fashion brands plus technology big boys equals a new wave of luxe tech. Are they worthy competitors for your gadget dollar?
What will it cost to go from geek to glam in That's IT's Glamorous Geek?
Tuesday at 8:30.
This is Channel News Asia.
Top stories coming up, but also on the show this
Hello, I'm Joanne Liao. Here's a look at
I'm Timothy Go on Singapore Business.
Growing trends of urbanization. The Jakarta administration is considering.
They have been providing you with Asian perspectives. Now you can see the world through theirs. From current events to personal issues, read what your favorite Channel News Asia's personalities have to say on their blogs. Log on to channelnewsasia.com/blogs. It's our way to stay in touch with you a little closer.
They're at it again. Thailand's government house under siege by anti-government protesters. North Korea sets alarm bells ringing after it announces an imminent satellite rocket launch. An outrage in China over...
Talk to me. Talk to me. If you feel the need or when you need the feeling, talk to me. If you feel the need or when you need the feeling, talk to me.
What happens when high fashion meets high technology? Hello everyone, I'm Timothy Go. You're watching another episode of That's IT. Now what does it say about you if you're seen holding a phone like this? Are you on the cutting edge of technology or the leading edge of fashion? More importantly, how much money do you have to invest to go from geek to glam?
It seems that these days, almost every fashion house